I have a bunch of retirement account stuff like that, like 401ks and everything. And I watch them. They don't go up nearly as fast as what I'm doing here. So it's like, and I can control it. It's not somebody else putting it in certain spots. It's me putting it in certain spots. It's like you're controlling your future. And I love that.
Control the things you can, accept the things you can't. Gates Adams here on behalf of Apex Trader Funding. And I am here today with Trader Justin, another paid funded trader with Apex Trader Funding. As we were talking before we got started on here, he's also a traveling trader, which you guys may know if you've seen some of the other videos, is a goal of mine. So we're going to have some fun with that, hopefully. But Justin, first and foremost, congratulations on the recent payout. Now, is this like first series of payouts, or have you been kind of on the payout wagon for a while and we just finally got to talk?
So this is my first payout with Apex. I've been paid with some other prop firms, and I got into Apex because I love the TradeAvate platform and it's just so easy there. So yeah, first payout with Apex. Okay,
very good. So for you, like the journey as a whole, how did you actually first get into trading?
So I retired from the Navy last year.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, 20 years as a senior chief in the Navy. I flew LCACs, the big hovercraft. Loved it, completely loved it. And my wife and I had a dream to get in an RV and go see the country with our kids and find new land, leaving San Diego. And I needed a job that could work from home. I started looking around, like, all right, how can I do that? I can be like a tech analyzer or, like tech support, whatever, all that stuff. And I got into trading, and my wife owns her own business, and one of her friends helped me get into it, brought me right to Apex. Everything made sense. Being on the road, you can trade from anywhere. You can trade anytime with futures. Most of the time, in between that 5 and 6 p.m. block there. And then when the movement's good, volume's good. But yeah, it fit, and it's a perfect job for a full-time RV traveler. You can do it from anywhere. My goals are small. I make between $200 to $300 on multiple accounts a day, like probably max five to six accounts, and that's like $1,200 a day. Before that, I was driving so immediately when I got out from the Navy, I went to Sunbelt because I got a CDL. Started driving semi trucks for them, and I was making about $400 a day there with them. And when I started trading, I could do that in 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, this would be a 14-hour day driving semi trucks, and it's $400, and that doesn't seem like a lot for trading. I mean, that could be one trade in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, particularly if you're multiplying across multiple accounts and all that. So
yeah.
Wow. For you, when you made that transition, I mean, were you already in a position where you felt like you were profitable as a trader when you guys hit the road, or did that sort of develop as you guys were on the road?
I had beginner's luck. First, I had no clue what I was doing. I joined a club, and I spent probably a couple of weeks before I traded anything, just studying and figuring out, because I didn't know what a tick was. I didn't know any of that stuff. And I had to learn all that. And I'm like, well, what is ES? What is NQ? Like, what are those things? I had no idea what any of that was. So it took me about 2 weeks of learning before I even did anything. And then I had beginner's luck, and I had a 25K account and passed it first day, and everyone that was teaching me was like, what the hell, how did you do that? I was like, I don't know, I just did what you guys told me to, and it worked. And the sad thing about that is I lost that account like a week later after I turned into a PA, and that was part of my process in learning, like, okay, there's ups and downs here, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna win every time I'm gonna win. I got humbled, and I realized that's not the case, and there's movements, and there's levels, and there's all kinds of, I didn't know what news events were and how they affected the market. So that all took a long time to learn. Not a long time, but it was like, it's a whole other world. And just like any world, like you figure it out, and then eventually you start to live in the world, and then it becomes, like second nature. Like, oh, it looks, everybody's saying it's going up right now, but it's going to hit that level and it's going to tank, or it's the opposite, and that's really when I started to get good at it. And sometimes I'm wrong, everyone's wrong sometimes, and it goes up a little bit more and then goes down, or goes a little bit further down and goes up. But and then that's where the hard stuff that keeps you safe comes into play for me, is like the risk parameters, and how much are you willing to let something go before it's past the level a little bit. I think it's still going to turn around, because I like the reversal trades. That's my jam on the levels. That was hard for me, finding out how much I'm willing to risk before I close a losing trade. And then the FOMOs are hard to correct. You can't, the discipline really gets important in trading. It's like you can't, and I have a $500 a day loss on some things where it's like, if it hits it, like it doesn't matter if I think I can get it back. I'm not trading that account anymore. I break that rule sometimes, and I'm like, I shouldn't have broken that rule, because I lose more. Or on the off chance that I make it back, it's like, oh, now I've just given myself a reason to trade past that $500 loss limit. And that's why it's important to take a step back, take the dog for a walk, go outside if you have a bad trade. That's how it all really kind of started, with that like week and a half, 2 weeks of learning, and then the beginner's luck with that first trade. And that beginner's luck felt so good. I was like, wow, that was that easy. And then it's not that easy, but it kind of is. Right. It's just, you have to be smart. You have to be disciplined.
I'm compelled to ask, because you talk about the discipline, and of course, this is one of the biggest words thrown around in the world of trading. Having a background in the military, as you mentioned, you were in the Navy. There is a discipline that is, of course, drilled into new recruits when they come into the U.S. military. How much of that do you think translated into your journey as a trader? Because by the sounds of it, your journey was a lot quicker than most. Do you think that helped you get through it? Or do you think that this is just something that maybe has been more of a focus for you anyway?
I think it absolutely did, because there's a level of grit that the military you just get it. You realize that you have to, it doesn't matter, like the mission, you do the mission, whatever the mission is, the mission's going to get done. You're going to do it. But the difference between trading and sometimes the mission is stopping with trading. Like you're not doing it anymore. You're done, because the difference in the military is it doesn't matter if you got beat up. You get up and you do it again right now. Like you go right now. And then trading, that's not the case. It's like, okay, I took a punch right there. Just take a breath. Like
stay down.
Yeah, stay down. Let it,
every fiber of your being.
Yeah. Let this calm down and pick a direction and then go. And that was the really hard part with the military, and this is like the discipline with the trading is, okay, stop kind of thing. And that still is hard to work through that when that happens. Making sure you know what you're talking about and what you're doing is really drilled into the military. And you have to know what you're doing with trading. You have to know your levels. You have to do your prep in the morning. Like the trading doesn't just start when you press the button. It's started way before that. Like you looked at your levels. You looked, what did it do yesterday? And you go back the daily and the weekly, and you see like where the levels were. What I've learned so far is that the retail traders we're dropping the bucket with the money. It's the institutions, and you find out where the institutions bought and sold from. And those are it's not just the level, oh, it wicked down to this spot, but it's like we're consistently over the last, I think we're at some spots where we were like at the beginning of last year. So we had a different president. We had Biden, and now we have Trump, but we're like a month or 2 months ago, we were in the same spots where he was still president. And it's like, doesn't matter. The institutions still trade the same way from the different spots. Finding those levels is really the discipline that needs to happen before you even do a trade. You have to do your homework before you get into it. And then after that, so I'm in a different group now, and the guy's been trading for about 15 years. And once you start seeing the market and the technicals in the market and all the indicators, I mean, there's millions of indicators. You got to pick the ones that work for you. I use stochastics. I like tick charts. I used to just use the minute charts. I was usually on a 1 minute or 15 minute, and I had both those up. And now it's a tick chart with a minute chart, with a 15-minute chart. So I have the immediate short-term tick chart, like what is it doing right now, and then where it's been in the last 15 minutes, and then a 60-minute, and a daily, and then a weekly.
Right.
I look at the daily and the weekly when I first start, and then it's just the 15, sometimes it's 60, and the tick chart is what I use now for what I take my trades off of, is the tick chart. And that's how I go about the trading, is I look at everything and I plan it out. I'm like, okay, this is my resistance and support, where I think it's going to go for the day, what news is happening. The news is big time too, especially with any kind of prop firm. I had a cash account for a little bit, but the prop firms, I mean, you have to be very careful with the news trades, especially the big news is like FOMC, all those news events. You have to go back and read. I don't really read too much of them. So the big ones I read after a certain portion in the news is when I'll start trading it. After it's picked a direction and it's going a certain way, there'll be pullbacks and stuff like that. That's when I jump in on it.
And even if you don't read the news, certainly an awareness that a big news event has come, and of course knowing that, hey, this big swing may just take place. So at this point, what's next for you? I mean, you're continuing to grow. You're on the road. You found sort of that perfect scenario in terms of trading fits you guys being on the road. What's next in your growth cycle as a trader?
I've had a decent amount of PA accounts, and I've been paid out a few times. And what I really want to, my goal here is to get about, I mean, you see everybody and they post all this stuff and they have like 20 PAs and stuff like that. And I tried to do that for a little bit, and I got them all to like certain amounts where I was like, okay, the next one I'm taking a payout. And it was hard to manage that many PAs for me. So for me, the good number is about 5 or 6. I just want to get between 300 to 500 on each of those 5 to 6 PAs. That's between 1,200 and 2K a day, which is insane. That's an insane amount of money to make a day. Small like that, turn that over to a cash account and just keep building the cash account. really just have one account where I make $1,200 a day kind of thing on that cash account. I still want to keep the prop funds, the Apex account and stuff like that. But I think it just diversifies it a little bit, and then just build wealth for myself and my family. I have a bunch of retirement account stuff like that, like 401ks and everything, and I watch them. They don't go up nearly as fast as what I'm doing here. So it's like, and I can control it. You know, it's not somebody else putting it in certain spots. It's me putting it in certain spots. It's like you're controlling your future, and I love that.
Control the things you can, accept the things you can't.
Yeah.
AA meeting. That's not where I'm going with this. But if you try to focus on things that you can't control, you're spinning your wheels, and it's very frustrating and things like that. And finding something like this where you actually are in control and can push those buttons and make those decisions and build that discipline, that just gives you the opportunity that you're looking for versus waiting for somebody else to do it for you.
Yeah. And then maybe they call it control what you own. Kind of thing. Yeah, that's the future for me, is building wealth through this, and systematically, at a systematic step forward. There's gonna be steps back, you know, that happens all the time, but as long as I'm still moving forward with it, and then just keep building. I don't think I'll get over 10 PA accounts. I didn't like that. It was just too much to manage, kind of thing. What are they called? The copy traders, I use Replicanto, and the fill prices aren't the same and stuff like that. And sometimes I'll get right up to the target, and then it'll turn around there on an account that's being copied. The main one already hit, and it's like, oh man. So I like to trade them individually.
Well, clearly what you're doing is working, and you're continuing to see that growth and development. So keep doing what you're doing, and I would love to catch up a couple months down the line and just really see where you are, if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get it on your calendar again when I get another payout.
You got it. Sounds good, Justin. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. Again, thank you so much for not just hanging out with me, but really for sharing some of your insights and some of the stuff that you've learned. Your journey has maybe been a little shorter than a lot of other people's, and getting to this point, of course, is very exciting. But you hit that moment where you had that initial bout of luck, that beginner's luck, and it's like, oh, I can't lose. I feel like you've gotten past that, and you have a realistic sense of where everything is, which is, I think, a really, really important place to be as a trader. So I can't wait to see what this continues to grow into.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Justin. We'll talk to you soon, man.